Okay, our next speaker today is Seth Lefort. Sorry. I want to call him off my name, but that's not his name. And he's our Mohawk chief from Kanenhariyo, warrior chief. So here you go.
So this is weird for me. I'm not used to speaking with a mic in front of me or in an alleyway. So two things that are strange to me. I got asked to say a few words. I'm not sure what to say, but I want to make an acknowledgement today. This is the longest day of the year, the longest Sunday of the year, and that is the day for all the men. My name is Kanenhariyo. I'm Bear Clan, and from the community of on the Bay Quinte, they commonly referred to as Kanenhariyo. I've done lots of things. Anyways, I'm not really big on talking about all the things I did. Some of them might make me get in jail or something. I don't know. But what I wanted to acknowledge today is something special, because we often forget about our young men, and we need to. It's important, I believe, to acknowledge them and to pay attention to the ceremonies of the sun. And today is the longest day of the year. This is the day that recharges all of our warriors. This is the day for them to be out and shining and taking in the energy. And it's the time to rejoice them and honor them. And so I want to take a few moments to say that I'm very thankful there's warriors all over the countryside that are still standing up. I was standing on a sidewalk a little while ago, and there was women singing and people dancing, and then there was some aggressive people decided that they were going to try and run them over. And I watched the young men immediately stand up and put themselves in harm's way, those directly in front of moving vehicles to protect those women and children that are dancing out there. And that's what you're supposed to do, and they did it. And they did it without even thinking about it. And that's we need to honor that, and we need to be thankful that we still have men that way, and we need to encourage our other young men to be the same, and not discourage them, because this is very important. And my uncle was just talking a few moments ago about the impacts of the Indian Act, and particularly the impacts of residential school. And one of the things that they actively worked at doing was to just strip us of our ways of being, and to take away our responsibilities as men and as women in our societies and in our world and in our fucking land. And this is our land. And some people get a little uncomfortable because I don't mind swearing, but we're all adults, and the children need to know too, because that's the way it is. We don't need to have Walt Disney version of anything anymore. We don't need that. So I want to take a few moments and say that all the warriors all over the countryside, the Mi'kmaq war chiefs and warriors in the oceans fighting for their people's rights to harvest lobster and eel and all that, and the warriors in the cities that are protecting their families and doing things like what we just seen a few minutes ago, and the warriors and people that went out and blocked trains and roads and bridges and made Canada stand still. I seen that. I think they call it that shut down Canada or something like that. I don't know. Something like that. Anyways, I'm very lucky. I never went to residential school, and I don't have anybody in my direct line, people before me, who went to residential school, and so I'm very thankful, and I feel lucky that I didn't have that experience. However, I'm very close to many people who have, and I have experienced the intergenerational trauma that have come from a residential school experience, and those are concentration camps for children, and that's a legacy that not only can never be repeated, that we're never allowed to be repeated. It can't be one that ever gets to be forgotten. and it's not one that gets to be forgiven. There's this desire, I think, with the Trudeau government. They're looking for reconciliation. They want all of us to say, it's okay what you did. It's not okay. Ever. It's not okay. And ever. And it never will be. And they're seeking for something, and we can't allow them to have it. And that is our approval to finish assimilating us. They're seeking for us to accept our assimilation and to be a part of Canada. They want us to have a seat at the table when we own all the land in the alleyway and everything, not just a chair at the table. And it's not acceptable. So my brother here is putting stores up all over the city, and he's saying, this is my land. And I'm growing a business here, and I'm employing my people, and I'm making money, and I'm making things happen, and I'm gonna have a relationship with all the people that have come from all over the world to come and live here, right? They left wherever their lands because they were poor or because they were persecuted or whatever, and they came here. And my brother's saying, we're gonna serve them, we're gonna do business with them, we're gonna do things, and this is our country, right? This is our country, and not the country of Canada, right? It's not that. A whole bunch of nations here, and so I'm humbled to be here, and I'm thankful that we're here. And this place, in my language, my people would call this place Tkorundo. It's where the logs are submerged in the water, and it's a trading ground. And many nations had villages set up here. This is a multicultural society, a multicultural town. It's been that way for a long time. My ancestors made Yonge Street, right? Like, this ain't, that's the way it is. That's the longest street in the world, or North America, or something like that. And that's Indigenous Wahome Road. This stuff that can't be forgotten. And right now, right now we're in a pendulum swing, you know. And imagine of our time when we're way back when everything's falling apart, and they're taking our children and they're suppressing us in every way, and we're losing our language, and we're afraid to pass it on, and all those sort of things. And we're in a pendulum upswing, you know. And don't forget that. Don't for once feel that we're beat or that we've been overrun or we've lost, because we have not. We're in a position of the highest power that we've been in 100 years. And those who've been oppressing us are in their weakest that they've been in 100 years. The entire world's looking at Canada and go, you fucking committed genocide. The whole world. I know that for a fact, because I spoke to Russia, I spoke to North Korea, I spoke to China, I spoke to Venezuela, and they all want to know what's going on over here, and they want to know what we want. And I keep telling them the same thing. We want our freedom back, and we want economic rise, and we want our country back, and we want to be free, right? That's all there's to it. So I don't know what else to say. Usually when there's an issue going on, I can think of something, but when there's just time to just enjoy each other, I don't want to talk too much. So I think that's about all I'm going to tell you for now. And I'm sure we'll see each other again. There's going to be some gatherings coming up. There's going to be some things happening. We're going to keep bubbling, and we're going to grow some more. I'm involved in one of the stores here in the city, the 1701 Trading Post, and we're building relationships with all the fishermen and the hunters and the craft makers and the bead makers all over. And we're gonna make outlets for them to be able to move all the things that they make through a series of network of stores. And we're gonna make trading posts everywhere, not just in Toronto. They're gonna be in Brockville and Cornwall and Montreal, Ottawa, and Windsor. And we're gonna build the numbers up so that the fishermen and the hunters and the trappers and the leather makers and all those people have an outlet and have an opportunity to raise themselves economically. And so I encourage you all to shop Indigenous, right? Never mind shop local, shop Indigenous, and encourage the people who come here to do the same, so we can raise the economic standards for everyone. Because when we're able to do that, that means people can pay their bills. It means that people can put shoes on their children's feet. It means that they can break the cycles of dependency on mother's allowance and on welfare and on all the programs, because all of those things are designed to keep us submerged, to keep us under. And when we give up those things and we're like, we don't need your services and we don't need your fucking programs because we own the building, and we're taking care of our own selves and we got enough resources to take care of our grandkids, what happens is they don't get to oppress us anymore and they never get a chance to do that again. And we can't ever allow that, right? And so I encourage that all of you think about all the ways that we can become free, the ways that we can build our own education systems and our own economic systems that work for us. You know, like I have this fantasy that I want to see an international airport, an international port of entry into our country that's on Toronto Island. That's what I have a vision for. And I want to see that happen. I want to see people flying into my country, into my people's country, with passports from all over the world, and being greeted by Ungahumwe people, and greeted by Indigenous people, and stamping their passport and saying, "Welcome to our land," right? Without the interference of Canada. That's what I want to see, and we can do that. That can happen, and that might feel out of reach right now, but it's not. It's not at all. So that's it for me. So you guys have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the rest of the day or whatever, and we'll see what happens next. Take care, guys.
Yeah, Seth. And we're just going to let, I think, one more car through. Sam?